in a one group. So this would be in a way, in an imaginary group setting. But use your body as a reference point to establish attention. If you're thinking what I mean by that, just notice that your mind began to do its work, which is to think. So I want to redirect your attention now to your breathing. Try not to change the way you breathe or adjust or anything like that. Simply pay attention to your act of breathing. And we normally breathe from the nose, in some occasions through our mouth. So there's only two places that your attention can go. You will notice that I'm pausing from time to time. That is to give you time to experiment with it. That is to give you time to return to your breath. Every time you return to your breath from a thinking detour, that is what we call establishing the attention or establishing the mindfulness. If you catch yourself thinking that, oh, I can't do this, or I have too much in my mind, that's what mind says. You just notice that. And you acknowledge that. You don't counter argue or you don't do anything like that. You just notice that and you acknowledge it. And then you simply return to your breathing. When you return to your breathing, you are experiencing a direct present moment. I cannot describe it any more than that. Because there's nothing to describe in it. As your mind begins to wander away, you take note of that. Like a loving, caring parent, you notice your mind is wandering away. And then you slowly bring your attention back to the act of breathing and establish your attention. In order to deepen our trust and understanding in this practice, let's use our body as an anchoring post for attention. I know some of you may have different experiences with your body, so I'm not going to be very specific about the body parts. But there is a very specific way of doing it. You can have access to that resource here. But for now, just pay attention to your body, noticing anything that stands out for you, any sensation. Notice that sensation. It could be a pleasant one, or it could be an unpleasant one, because they are noticeable. So acknowledge it as such. And then return to your breathing, unless you have another sensation in your body that is seeking your attention. Follow the same formula. Notice the sensation, acknowledge it, either return to your breath or move on to the next sensation. As the mind wanders away and a sense of impatience may kick in, when that happens, just notice that. try not to fight back or suppress that or anything like that. Just pay attention to it. And then return to the center. If you find yourself getting lost in the thinking mind, return to your body and use bodily sensations as a way to establish your mindfulness. Just the sensations. They could be pleasant, they can be unpleasant, they can also be neutral. So using that simple framework, scan your body, noticing, acknowledging, and moving on from those sensations. In those moments, you are experiencing present moment because you're not thinking. Whenever we think, we are in the past or in the future. When I notice a sensation on my back as I'm sitting in this chair, I just notice that sensation, the pressure between my back and the cushion. And I acknowledge it. And then I move on to my knee. In that moment, I wasn't thinking anything. My thinking mind was suspended. Now I'm thinking about it as I'm relating to you that experience. So the idea is for us to remain present by practicing this technique. You'll see yourself drifting into thinking what I'm saying, thinking whether you're doing this right. All those are functions of the mind. My encouragement is to notice that without trying to resolve it like a puzzle or a problem. Just notice that. Just notice what your mind is doing, and notice that with compassion, like a kind parent would do towards a child who's messing up the kitchen table or something like that. And then slowly bring your attention to the breathing. Just to repeat what I said earlier, return to your breath and establish the mindfulness of here and now. And use your bodily sensations to notice, acknowledge, and move on.